I was just fiddling around in the YouTube and suddenly I saw one of the website, this Ahmadis working on it, give the link. Then it referred me to the YouTube, and once I opened that part, over there I saw many scholars. This one guy, he's answering to everyone.
اسمعوا صوت السماء جاء المسيح جاء المسيح
وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا.
Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This video is in response to an abusive video full of hatred released by Shaikh Inamullah.
There was one Sheikh Mumtazul Haq from UK. He caricatured him by cutting his voice clips and then showing that, look, I answered these Sunnis, they know nothing about Islam. Then he made the video against Sheikh Ahmadi rahmatullah alayh, my teacher, rather spiritual teacher, who instigated me. I'm doing this all da'wah work.
Firstly, the debate with Shaikh Mumtazul Haq is on YouTube for all to watch. Secondly, Shaikh Inamullah claims that Ahmed Dida is his spiritual teacher, but forgets that Dida learned from Hazrat Ahmed Alaihissalam's works, which is how he gained fame.
And this made me upset. You see, once you try to touch the spine of a person, it's not a good idea.
He claims I touched his spine, but does not realize how offensive it is to call for the killing of all Ahmadi Muslims and also mocking their founder, a prophet of Allah. Furthermore, I had never used any abuse, rather replied to the scholars from the Quran and Sunnah to defend Islam, while Inamullah continues to abuse everyone.
So, the time was adjusted, and when the debate was going to happen, suddenly he said, no, I will speak first, meaning me, I will speak first. He's supposed to speak first, that was the format we decided, but suddenly he changed his intent.
This is also false. I clearly said he would speak first much before the time of the debate and also sent him a voice note saying this. Just in case you didn't know, you will be speaking first. Just in case you didn't know, you will be speaking first.
And then I said, finish, halas. No debate will be happening now. You go your way, I go. In the meanwhile, when we were discussing, he was recording. And then the debate was finished, which he proved to be a liar. And then after that, he put the clip of mine, same he's doing to everyone. This Raziullah Noman, and he cut the clips. And then he showed in the clips that I am, making this mischief in the Ahmadis community. I want to make them excommunicado, all of them.
This is also false. He put up the recording first and then I replied to it. Let us see that Inamullah truly does wish for the death of all Ahmadi Muslims.
1973 कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में हमसे एक बहुत बड़ी गलती हुई. वो ये गलती हुई कि जब हमने इनको काफिर करार दिया गया तो इनके ऊपर कैपिटल पनिशमेंट भी लगनी चाहिए थी if they preach. He was talking to me, he asked me which translation I will use. So I told him Quran.com, all the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat translations, I will be accepting it, no problem. I still stand by with it. So he said, okay, fine, done. So in the clip, when he's trying to expose me according to his fantasy world, he's quoted Quran.com, and then he picked Shakir translation, and he's showing to the people, look, Shakir believed that Jesus Christ died in the past tense. It's a lie.
Here are the translations of Quran.com, and we see that all translations except Shakir and Abdul Halim gave a translation opposing Inamullah and the other translations. Shakir makes it clear that on the day of judgment, Hazrat Isa will make it clear that when he was among the Christians, they were on the true path, but when Allah caused him to die, he remained unaware of what had happened, meaning that on the Day of Judgment he is unaware of the people worshipping him. Abdul Halim also supports us as he says Tawaffaitani means the taking of the soul rather than the taking of the body as Inamullah believes. Allah makes it clear in the Quran that the taking of the soul only happens during death or sleep.
Rubbish, garbage, out you go. Talk about your prophet, inverted commas. Talk about him. Are you afraid? Are you ashamed of talking about him? Are you ashamed when he's calling that Jesus paternal, maternal, these forefathers and all this, the maternal family ancestry is full of these prostitutes? Are you ashamed by saying this to the world?
Never did Hazrat Ahmad say such a thing. Rather, he showed the Christians what their Bible says to prove that such cannot be the word of God. Hazrat Ahmad stated, "Everywhere in my writing I, referring to Christ, have meant superstitious Jesus of the Christians, and the humble servant of God, Hazrat Isa who is a prophet of Allah and who is mentioned in the Holy Quran, is certainly never intended in my harsh comments." I adopted this path after constantly listening to the abuses of the Ahmadis for the last 40 years. Some ignorant mullahs who should better be called blind and sightless excuse the Ahmadis and say that they, the poor helpless fellows, do not utter a word, nor are they in the least disrespectful to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it must be borne in mind that in reality it is the Ahmadis who are in the forefront in displaying contempt, hurling insults and shouting abuses. I have a stockpile of books by those Ahmadis who have filled their writings with hundreds of abuses. Any mullah who wishes should come and see for himself, and let it be remembered that if in future any Ahmadi shunning the ways of abuse speaks politely, I too shall be polite with him. At present they themselves are responsible for the attacks on their Jesus, for under no circumstances they refrain from abuse and vituperation. We are sick of listening to them.
Where this Mirza Ghulam Ahmad George is saying that anything which is go against my whims and inclination, I will throw those all ahadiths like a garbage in a trash.
This is another false allegation. In reality, Hazrat Ahmad stated, then Maulvi Sanaullah Sahib said, "How did the saw of the prophecy of the promised Messiah come to your heart? Since it is taken from ahadith, then why isn't there any acceptance of the authority of ahadith?" Simply people say this either in a mocking way or in a foolish way, and we in reply answer by swearing in the name of Allah that hadith is not the basis of my claim. Instead, the basis of my claim is the Holy Quran and that revelation which I have received. Though for the sake of corroboration we do present those ahadiths which concur with the Holy Quran and do not oppose my revelation, and we throw the rest of the ahadiths like they are valueless.
I will show you from Quran.com that none of the translation, this Raziullah, he lied about the Quran.com, about Shakir. All these Sunnis translation by Dr. Ghali, or Ghali, I don't know how to pronounce it, Muhsin Khan, Pixol, Sahih International, Shakir, Mufti Taqi Usmani, Abdul Halim, Yusuf Ali, Abu Ala Maududi, Dr. Mustafa Khattab. All of them, nobody said Jesus died. Jesus died, remember that. This is a lie which this guy is uttering to the rest of the world.
Let us now see who in reality has lied and who is truthful.
I am quoting chapter 3 verse 144. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ. He picked what? Shakir. And Muhammad is no more than a messenger. The messenger have already passed away before him. So he said, look, he said Jesus died. Where did he say that? The word qad khalat. This doesn't mean that all the messengers died. All the messengers have passed away.
Inamullah makes a huge mistake in regards to qad khalat. He means to say al-rusul does not mean all messengers, but accidentally continues to say qad khalat. Al-Rusul does refer to all messengers in the same way Alhamdulillah means all praise belongs to Allah, rather than some praises or many praises. Whether we translate it as many prophets or various prophets, it does not support the non-Ahmadi Muslims. There is no doubt that all prophets that passed away before the Prophet ﷺ are included in many. Furthermore, this is Alif Lam Istighraq, which means that all are included. I asked Shaikh Inamullah why in chapter 5 verse 75, with the same Arabic is used for Isa alayhi salam, he believes it means all prophets before Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. This further proves our translation to be correct in how Inamullah is the one trying to deceive.
Qad khalat. The word khalat doesn't mean all messengers, meaning many have messengers passed. It's a philosophy, it's ideology about human weaknesses that one day you will die. You got the point? In the Quran, there is nothing, no verse there which says that he died.
This point was also extremely weak. He claims it means you will die in the Quran, despite Qad Khalat being past tense. Isa is indeed a messenger and is included in this verse, which all companions had ijma on.
Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse 116, 117. Over there Allah is talking about Yawmul Qiyamah, the day of judgment, when I will inquire Jesus and his mother, did you ever claim to be God or goddess? Jesus said, nay Allah, if I have done this, had it been for me to utter those filthy words, you would have known it. But these are your people. If you want to forgive them, forgive them. If you want to punish them, punish them. Then the next verse, the climax here, the main point, the pivotal area, 5:18. And then, again I'm reading Shakir, for the complacency of this khannas, this liar, trickster. If thou shouldn't chastise them, then surely they are their servants, as I already quoted. But if you want to, I want to read the previous verse of this. This is 18 here. I did not say to them aught save that thou hast enjoined me. I already quoted this in different translation. That serve Allah, my Lord, Rabbi wa Rabbakum. And I was witness of them as long as I was with them. But thou, when thou didst cause me to die,
This is perhaps one of the biggest mistakes Inamullah has made in his entire life. He agrees to Shakir's translation of Tawaffaytani, meaning death. This is taking place on the Day of Judgment, which further proves our point. On the Day of Judgment, Hazrat Isa makes it clear that he was only a witness as long as he remained among the people and they worshipped Allah alone. But after he had died, he was not a witness. Rather, only Allah was aware of what had happened. If Isa was to come back before the Day of Judgment, then why is he unaware of the condition of the Christians on that day? Shaykh Mumtazul Haq will not be happy with Inamullah's translation.
In that verse, Tawaffaytani can mean death, but in that particular verse, this is what I have been saying, that Tawaffi does not only mean death.
Okay, so here it doesn't mean death. Here it doesn't mean death.
It doesn't mean death.
And thou didst cause me to die.
It doesn't mean death.
I challenge Shaykh Inamullah that if he truly believes that this is the correct translation and it does mean death, then he should contact Quran.com to change all the wrong translations from took me to the heavens to when you caused me to die. Never will he do so, as he knows that this proves Ahmadiyya true. Next, Shaykh Inamullah shows his violent belief by saying that either you would have to accept the Messiah or fight him.
Because when Jesus will come in the second time, there will be only two cases. Either come to fight or believe in Jesus, peace be upon him. So Jesus will say, oh Allah, finish. When you cause me to die, after that, I'm not responsible. When you cause me to die, after... Chapter 3 verse 55, very famous verse for them. Let us read from Shakir. And when Allah said, O Isa, I'm going to terminate the period of your stay on this earth and cause you to ascend me. Where is the death? Where is the die? Liar, there's nothing there.
Once again, Shaykh Mumtazul Haq and Shaykh Inamullah are in complete contradiction.
Here the meaning is, don't worry, they want to kill you, but inni mutawaffika, I am going to take you.
The same words, mutawaffika, cause you to die in the future.
This is another weak argument of Inamullah. The verse of the Quran tells us what Allah had promised Hazrat Isa while he was alive and being persecuted. Of course it would be in the future tense. The key point is that his life cycle is death first and then his rafa, which is always of the soul. Secondly, according to Inamullah, just because it is in the future tense, it means Hazrat Isa is alive. He forgets that Allah speaks in future tense for the death of Holy Prophet as well and others. Allah states, "Indeed you are to die, and indeed they are to die."
Abbas radiallahu anhu, he said Jesus died. He said Mutawaffika means to die. Yes, to die. Mutawaffika means to die. Yes, to die. Wassalamu alayya yawma wulidtu wa yawma amutu wa yawma ub'athu hayya. Peace be upon me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day I shall raise to the life again. Jesus Christ said the day I die in the future tense, not died. Surah Maryam chapter 19 verse number 15.
Now Inamullah makes another huge mistake. He quotes chapter 19 to prove that Hazrat Isa is alive. It states in verse 33, "And Jesus said, and peace be upon me the day I was born, and the day I die, and the day I am made to rise again alive." Secondly, according to Inamullah's incorrect interpretation, he must believe that Hazrat Yahya is also bodily alive in the heavens and has not died, as it states the exact same for him. Next, Inamullah quotes an entirely fabricated tafsir book attributed to Hazrat Ibn Abbas.
In this ayah by Tafsir Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, there is not one of the people of the scripture, the Jews and the Christian, but we will believe in him, in Jesus, that he was not a sorcerer, Allah, his son or his partner, none of them, no shirk, before his death, after the soul of Jesus expires, that is after he comes down again and then dies after every single Jew in their time. And on the day of resurrection, he, Jesus, will be a witness against them.
This is a huge mistake of Inamullah, which may cause him to lose any scholarship he had. The reason for this is he quoted a fabricated tafsir attributed to Hazrat Ibn Abbas, which all scholars of his and early Mujaddideen have completely rejected and labeled as a fabrication. Furthermore, Inamullah's interpretation is false, as millions of Jews have already died without accepting Hazrat Isa. If Inamullah's interpretation was correct, all would have been kept alive till their acceptance of Isa, which clearly did not happen. He used fabrications and attributed them to Hazrat Ibn Abbas.
Now here comes Tafsir Ibn Kathir. Same ayah, Tafsir Ibn Kathir, he quoted 2 or 3 pages only to prove Jesus is alive.
It is obvious that Ibn Kathir would support the concept of Hazrat Isa being alive, but regardless of his belief in which he was mistaken, he quoted the hadith in his tafsir which states that Hazrat Isa died. These are hadiths of the latter-day Messiah, all refer to the Messiah who would come in our ummah, who is none other than Hazrat Ahmad ﷺ.
In the chapter about the prophets in the Sahih under the descent of Isa, there is all Bab of Maryam. Al-Bukhari recorded Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu said, for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "By him in whose hands my soul is, the son of Maryam, Isa, will shortly descend among you as a just ruler and will break the cross, kill the pig and abolish the jizya. Then there will be an abundance of wealth and nobody will accept charitable gifts anymore."
He broke the cross and killed the swine. But of course you would rather wait for a prophet whom the Quran has declared as dead to return after 2,000 years and go around the world killing every pig and physically breaking every cross.
Then you quoted about the hadith on lie on the Ibn Kathir rahmatullah alayh. You quoted the hadith, if Moses and Jesus had been alive, they would have no choice but to follow me. Tafsir Ibn Kathir under verse 81 of Al Imran. This is a lie. You don't read the further. Same Imam Ibn Kathir said that this is Za'if hadith. The narrations is not complete, it's unbroken sequence.
Firstly, this hadith is in line with the Quran and is only rejected because it proves the death of Hazrat Isa ﷺ. Inamullah has already rejected Quranic ayahs which prove that Isa ﷺ died, so what would a hadith mean to him? As for Ibn Kathir, he ends up saying Allah knows best, and this narration is found in many books.
He was thinking, I'm quoting about the hadith, about the tawaf circumambulating, about Jesus and the Dajjal with the crooked legs. This was the dream of Prophet ﷺ.
This is another false allegation of Inamullah. The hadith he quoted has been answered thousands of times. A link is in the description answering it. In the end, I pray that Allah guides him to the truth. Ameen.
Yes, we did a mistake in Constitution of 1973. I repeat again. When we declared you kafir, disbelievers, we should put some kind of capital punishment. Whosoever preaches, wherever so is, capital punishment. But you people made this Lajna community in this Qadiani, and you people artificial paradise, all this stuff, and making fitna. We are aware of your fitna, but I hope one day ruler will aware and isolator the lies you are uttering against Rasulullah, the lies you are making and forgery against Quran Islam. You will never be forgiven in this world in the hereafter.
بل نقذف بالحق على الباطل فيدمغه فإذا هو زاهق ولكم الويل مما تصفون